So, you guys want to talk a little dystopian future, huh? Alright, we'll get into it. Hey, what is up? How are you guys doing? Thank you for checking out this video. Support for the channel is awesome. And yes, I want to talk about dystopian future. Pretty crazy. Some people might know about it. This has been out for a long time. It's been in the works for a long time, but I just learned about it. That we have a dystopian future is being created right now. And it kind of reminds me, my girlfriend asked me, I talk about a dystopian future and I talk about these things, and she asked me, what is a dystopian future? And the best thing I could think about was going to movies. What's that one? Bruce Willis was in a movie with the girl with the orange hair, stuff like that. But even like Star Wars, Star Trek, and stuff like that is that futuristic dystopian thing, but it lacks. So, like The Island, The Hunger Games, to where you live in a controlled environment that is controlled by just one or two people, and everybody must be obey, and they're going to be surveyed, and you get out of line just a little bit, even in your own personal space, and you're going to have authorities knocking on your door. Facial recognition, all that stuff, artificial intelligence, monitoring everything you do in life. Everywhere you go, how you walk, what your facial expressions are while you're walking. That's kind of a dystopian future, but set into the future, obviously. So the funny thing is we have this going on right now. I should have gotten my phone. There's a region in Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking epoch. It's not that. Hold on. I'm going to have to get my phone. I'm going to need assistance on this. So, all right. So yes, I'm going to have to use my phone for this because there's a lot going on. So the region, and I thought it was kind of the company. It's called NEOM. N-E-O-M. Google it. Check it out. It's a region in Saudi Arabia, down on the south part of Saudi Arabia, that are building extremely dense cities. It's not that it's spread out. It's almost like a neighborhood, but they're kind of massive. One is mind-blowingly massive. So I wish I could put video up here. I don't have the know-how necessarily to run video and record and blend those two together. I don't want to get busted for copyrights or anything like that, so I don't do it. But I am going to be putting up pictures. And I'm going to show you pictures of some of these different places. And so far, they're kind of looking a lot like the renderings. But there's this company, it's NEOM. They are building these futuristic cities, and they have a lot of them. NEOM Bay is where they're working on a lot of it. That's where one is going to get started. That's going to be the massive one. They have one called Oxagon. It's an octagon-shaped city that is up on a bay. Half of it is on land, half of it is floating. It's an industrial complex, it's a manufacturing complex, it's a port for shipping containers to come in and do transactions. There's people that live in small villages that are floating out in the sea. It's crazy, and you're going to see pictures of it here. The engineering that they're putting into these projects are pretty amazing. So Trojana, I guess, I don't know how to really pronounce it. This one is pretty crazy. It's going to be a ski resort in Saudi Arabia. Yes, they're going to have fake snow. They're going to have luxury resorts, restaurants, everything. Is going to be a full-blown ski resort in Saudi Arabia. Pretty crazy. Yes, it's going to be up in the mountains and whatnot, but yeah, still a pretty big feat. And they're probably going to be able to do it. I don't know if the construction started on this one or not. Oxagon is already complete. The resort, Sindola, is complete, and they're going to be moving people into it pretty soon. But Yeah, they have a 1,000-foot skyscraper in this ski resort. Let me see if I can get some information here on it. It's a little bit cooler in that area, which makes it good. Yeah, an artificial lake, skyscrapers, that big 1,000-foot, 1,100-foot skyscraper they're putting on the mountain peak to overlook a man-made lake in the ski resort. It's crazy. So anyway, Sindalah. This is another one that Noam is building. This is the one that's built. It's a 1,100,000 cubic yard luxury resort off the city coast. This one, each room, I believe, has yacht parking. More high-end than we can imagine. Now, this is going to be kind of across the board. I'm going to get my phone down for a second. The numbers with these projects that Noam's doing are staggering. Absolutely staggering. Like Sindalah, I can't imagine $5,000, $8,000 a night, $25,000 a night, $75,000 a night, high end. And it's like, oh, what's the market for this? Now, we have a lot of people in the world that have money. We have thousands and thousands of millionaires just in the United States. I'm not part of the group, but we have people that are a lot of money, $50,000 a day incomes. More than we want to admit. There's a lot of people with money, and that's not even talking getting into royal families, Saudi families, UAE, even people in Iraq and Iran, all over the world, every major country. Nigeria has millionaires. There's a lot of money, and a lot of these projects, some of it is funded from the royal family, from the prince of Saudi Arabia. Some are companies that are coming into it, and some are privately funded, or a combination of all these. So the numbers are mind-blowing, but they're not talking about any of it here. I think I'm on Wikipedia just kind of going through this region of Noam and what they have going on. So that one, Sindalah. Crazy, absolutely crazy. And the pictures of Sindalah have come out basically like this. I'm going to look for some recent real pictures that aren't renderings, so you can get an idea of it. But yeah, mind-blowing. Just things of the future, completely things of the future. Aquarium, a subterranean digitalized community of the future that will invert agriculture principles to integrate with nature. So they're doing a lot. Even in that octagon, they have an oceanic research center, a large one, in that octagon. Yeah, so this one, if this is the one I'm thinking of, this is just absolutely crazy looking. It's dug into the side of a 450-meter high mountain. It's basically an upside-down skyscraper, kind of like WonderWorks or something like that. So yeah, just really crazy, innovating. The engineers that they're hiring for it basically have kind of a blank check and complete freedom to come up with whatever they want, whatever ideas they can come up with. If it kind of makes sense and it's going to push the technology a little bit further, they got the green light to go do it. Laheyah. Which one is this? Tourist destination designed to support the Saudi vision of 2030, the magical number, planned for sustainable tourism industry. According to Saudi press, 90 cents, it's a preservation of natural space. They're going to have 3 hotels, an adventure hotel, which is going to be designed for like kayaking and rock climbing. It's going to be all integrated into it. That's pretty cool. I saw a little bit of that. It's got the Office of Metropolitan Agriculture, so it's going to be really agricultural based. But still, if you look at it, this is something out of Star Wars. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy looking, and it's going to be some of the highest advanced technology. Some of it doesn't even exist yet. But yeah, super advanced, super high-tech, super futuristic. I mean, just crazy. And they got things with agriculture and stuff like that. The big thing about this company is doing sustainable life, zero net emissions on everything. Everything is going to be powered by hydrogen plants. Like that Oxagon has its own hydrogen plant, and it has its own desalination plant, which is extremely expensive. They have those two things just for that. So this is the main one I want to talk about, though. They have a project called The Line. Now, I'm just going to set this down for a little bit because you're going to need to sit down too. Okay, so picture the Empire State Building. The first reference I heard was World Trade One. I would have to do the math on the heights of them, but World Trade Center or the Empire State Building or any of these, 1,600 feet. So you're basically looking at 160, 120 stories, 160 stories, probably like 120 or 100 story tall building. Okay, so picture that, the Empire State Building. That's the height of the building that they are building in Saudi Arabia, except the big difference is you have 100 stories, it goes 105 miles long, 170 kilometers long. Think about that. It's the height of the Empire State Building and 100 miles long. Then on top of that, you put two of them side by side like this. So you're going to have this one building that's just going to be going for 170 kilometers, but you're also going to have another one parallel right next to it, fairly close. So it's going to be 200 meters, basically 2 football fields wide from the outside of building to outside of building. You're going to have the building that goes inside, then the inside area is going to be parks, it's going to be restaurants, it's going to be commerce, it's going to be lots of different things. As a matter of fact, the one that they are building right now, yes, this is under construction, they are building this. It's going to be built in sections. I'll get to what they have in this one in a second. So it's going to be built in sections by like cities. Right now they are building number 45, 46, and 47. Number 1 is going to be at the ocean. The very last one, I believe it's like 84 of these, is going to be touching water on the other side, and it's going to stretch all the way across the Saudi Arabian desert on the low end, on the southern end, going from water to water. Everything in between is going to be city. So they're going to be building these in sections. They're doing 45, 6, and 7 right now. Each section has that height. It's 1.5 miles long. So they're probably going to be doing about 80 of these connected together. They're starting with 45, 6, and 7. 46 is going to have a full cruise port at the base of it, with access to get out to the ocean and coming in to a whole port on the inside, or maybe on the other side of the building or something like that. You're going to be able to park cruise ships. You're going to be able to park tankers, cargo containers, to be able to bring all the goods into this massive city. It's going to be a port inside the building. On top of that same building, they're putting in a soccer arena. They have the bid for the 2034 World Cup or something along those lines. It just got announced earlier this year that Saudi Arabia is going to get this. They're going to have the World Cup 1,000 feet in the air. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So in each of these sections, you're going to be able to house 90,000 people. There's going to be 9 million people living in this building. Mind-blowing. You're going to have your police departments in these buildings. You're going to have your Saks Fifth Avenue, your Walmarts. You're going to have your high schools, elementary schools, community centers, churches, if churches are even going to be allowed. I'm sure there's going to be a mosque. Everything that is going to be within a city, say Chicago, you can cram into a 50-mile run or less. I don't know how many people are in Chicago. How many people are in Chicago? Let's find this out, since I am using that as an example. And the bad thing is it's going to show me the actual borders of Chicago, which is pretty small, but 2.61 million people. So if you can fit 9 million people in there, let's just round it to 10 or 8 because it's a little bit over 2 million. So 4 Chicagos in its entirety are going to be able to fit in this building. The way they explain it is you get this big massive area if you're zoomed out on a map and say this is the Chicago area. You got, what is it, the Great Lake over here, Chicago, and then going down into Illinois, whatever. Here's Chicago. So they're going to be able to condense it into this in about the size of my hand. You know, maybe like this. They're going to be able to get this massive area and condense everything down. What they plan on doing is with all the area they're freeing up, give it back to nature, give it back to earth. Let nature retake everything. And as we live in this small little area, or whoever decides to live there, you're going to be able to go out and enjoy nature without the problem of cities and masses of people and all that kind of stuff. You can just go down to the bottom floor, open the door, hop in your electric vehicle, and poof, off you go. Go camping, do whatever you want. Another thing with this whole line, and probably all of it, is artificial intelligence is going to run everything. Everything is going to be under surveillance. There's going to be cameras everywhere. They're going to know everything that you do. But you're going to be able to live in a pretty crazy, cool place, dare I say it. The whole outside of the building as well is going to be a one-way mirror. That's going to be helping efficiency. They're claiming that you're not going to need climate control in the middle of the Saudi desert if you're in this place, living in here. It's going to be climate controlled due to refraction of light and different ways that they're doing it, but everything is going to be very, very green. So that's what they're planning on it. They have a bullet train that will take you from one side of the city to the other, a 100-mile stretch in 20 minutes. Now, that's going to have to go at about 300 miles an hour to reach those goals, but an electric underground train with no obstructions, nothing in the way, kind of like Elon Musk is doing with the transport Tesla cars, you can move. You can move. You can get to the other side real quick, turn and burn, have a turnaround spot of some sort, load up again and zip across. Now they might be doing stops in between. They might have beelines. I don't know how they're going to do it, but everything is going to be contained. You are going to have everything that a city has to offer. Hundreds of restaurants, all in this one building. And you're going to have 80 something in these buildings. It's going to be like a country in one skyscraper. And it's one skyscraper because it's going to be connected all throughout the whole thing. There's going to be walkways, breezeways, passageways and stuff like that, as well as businesses and restaurants and stuff in between these two buildings. You're going to be able to do your shopping and stuff like that, live here. This might be all business. Maybe the next one, people will be residents here and business on this side, you know. Crazy, crazy concept. They're pulling water out of the ground, all the groundwater, to be able to keep this building stabilized, make sure it's sitting on solid ground. So they have these systems built that they have almost completed of pulling out all this groundwater to take it out to the ocean. They're running it through 2 different filter systems to make sure that they are putting out the cleanest water out into the sea, the ocean, whatever it is there, sea, I believe. But they are putting a lot of thought into this, a lot of engineering into it. The Discovery Channel actually had a documentary on this, and they were interviewing some of the engineers that are involved with it. And they're like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. But the thing is we don't even have the technology we're going to be putting into this building yet. They plan on having their own server farms to be able to run the AI. It would take 4 nuclear plants to run this thing. 4 full-size plants. Of course, they're wanting to do solar and wind, so they're going to scatter that throughout the whole desert. It's going to take a lot to be able to power up 9 million people plus businesses. But I'm kind of jumping around a little bit because there's like so much to cover over this. But this is what the dystopian future is. They are building it now, and it is probably going to happen. They have to meet the deadline of the World Cup. So they're definitely going to be building the one, and they already have land cleared and projects started for 3 of the buildings, 5, 6, and 7. I think 7 is going to be an agriculture building or something like that, to where they're going to be growing hydroponic vegetables for the place. But remember, you're talking a mile and a half long. So you're talking 4.5 miles of building the size of the Empire State Building or the World Trade Center times 2. It's on a scale we can't really believe. And it's about time that we actually start building some big things, doing some big things in the world. We haven't done a lot in a long time. We haven't had a lot of innovation. I mean, just like the video of the world stopped in 1999. We just quit doing everything. So to see visions, to see people have an idea and do their best to act on it is pretty cool. This is a dystopian future. This is a dystopian city. 15-minute cities, forget about it. How about 5 minutes? Go to the elevator, hit floor number 71, that's your Starbucks and your P.F. Chang's, you know, whatever they're going to have there. I'm sure BlackRock is going to get into it. I'm sure these large investment companies are going to be getting into it. The UK came out. Stammer, I think, was talking about it. They invested into it. They are encouraging other countries to invest into it. They're getting private funding. The first one is basically paid for. 47, I believe, is 100% privately funded. That's the one that was like agriculture or something like that, so it might be a little bit cheaper build. Speaking of the price, $1 trillion estimated right now to build one unit. So that's probably going to be about 2.3 trillion. Yeah, staggering numbers, and you're talking about 80 of these. So let's just figure $160 trillion. Now, we got the money. The world has the money. There are stupid rich people out there. And of course, whoever's got the disposable income of the world currency can help make this happen. Now, Trump, he's kind of trying to do this here. He's trying to, you know, I was going to say keep the semiconductors, but he just let the semiconductors to China, which is a dangerous game. But hopefully they sabotaged them. Hopefully this NVIDIA sale going to China on these older chips are all hacked to all hell. For the love of God, let them explode when we want to let them explode, because we might need that kind of advantage. So hopefully they're thinking about crap like that. I think they are. But anyway, Trump's wanting to kind of get this ball rolling here about stepping into the future. The whole crypto deal, the huge server farms and underground layers of AI. That's what this is all about. The battle for artificial intelligence right now between Russia, China, and the US. This is what this is all about. Saudi Arabia, of all people, are the ones that are getting this ball rolling. So, very, very interesting. I mentioned the Discovery Channel did a documentary on this. It's about 45 minutes long. I encourage you to check that out. Look at any of these other videos. Look up some of these other properties that Noam is building out there. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Kind of cool. I ain't ever going to live there, but it's pretty dang cool to think about this. The traffic, you're not going to have any cars on the inside. It's all going to be air taxis, trains, electronic transport of some sort. They're still working on it. So just things like that that are going to be kind of interesting. It's definitely going to be The Fifth Element is the video I was thinking, or the movie I was thinking of with Bruce Willis. Orange Hair, Fifth Element. Dystopian future. You screw up in traffic, a drone drops down in your face and says, pull over, you're getting a ticket. Dystopian future, that's what this place is. So pretty amazing. I just happened to stumble across it. It's been going since about 2021, 2022 with the ideas and the planning of all this. But they've recently broken ground on the Line, which is the long building. It's called the Line. And some of these other buildings are in progress and finishing up and coming to completion to be able to open up for their customers. So yeah, pretty crazy. I want to do something a little bit different tonight. I just stumbled across this and it blew my mind on what it is. It's a lot better to get the visual, so I encourage you to watch some videos on it. The Discovery Channel documentary was great, but there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of people talking about it. I believe it was a prepper or something like that I came across that was talking about this, and I'm like, what? This ain't real. And then sure enough, I looked into it, and it is very, very real. So check it out. You might be interested in it. It's a glimpse into the future. It's a glimpse into what the year 2060 is going to be looking like, because we're heading that direction no matter who wins World War III. It's already set. They've already told us that they want artificial intelligence into everything, and that's what's going to put us into the future. And I've said it in many, many, many videos that at the end of World War III, we are going to take that step into the future, 2030 and beyond. Whatever the outcome is, that is going to be the deciding point of the 50s and the 70s and the 60s of these futuristic lands, and dreaming of the world of 2015 and 2012. We all know none of that stuff came true. Where's all the flying cars? As soon as we hit 2000, everybody was like, where's the flying cars? You know, we're supposed to have flying cars in the year 2000. It's coming. It's coming. The line is it. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for any support for this channel. I will talk to you guys next time. Had to get the tail in, right? Talk to you then. Peace.
That's what me round time. Works many miles time.